Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Niles. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I wanted to create a video today out of some inspiration that I'm feeling after feeling like I'm connecting some dots recently regarding blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, and that is the Interledger Protocol and the inter-blockchain communication, and how this really relates to global standardization of blockchain and how regulations may come in to form a standardization within blockchain, and also key components of how different ecosystems can communicate with one another. And personally, I feel this is an extremely valuable piece of information and understanding to have as far as gaining insight into how this new technology is building itself for the future. And to just kind of set the stage, I want to firstly say that none of this content is financial advice. And secondly, I guess the reason why I'm looking into this particular line of inquiry is that I'm interested in what big institutions and governments, global corporations are doing regarding blockchain technology and crypto. And I'm also interested in regulatory compliance and interoperability for this technology. And on top of that, yeah, within blockchain interoperability, here we're just going to be scratching the surface. Definitely want to share the further invitation to look into all of this and more for yourself so you can read everything and connect the dots within your own mind and make your own decisions. And so that'll bring us straight here. We have Sunny Agarwal presenting the Interledger Protocol with the interblockchain communication. Highly recommend checking out this video. He really demonstrates how this can be a perfect marriage for ultimate interoperability, and then also introducing this concept of layer zero, which we'll get into more in this video. And shout out to Zen God for pointing me onto this video. I really enjoyed this one. If you haven't already tuned into Zen God's channel, definitely go ahead and check it out. So here's a quick resource, you can check it out. We're kind of viewing the inter-blockchain communication on the Cosmos network here. I'm certainly having fun just clicking around here and exploring a bit and seeing what transactions are going where and how things are connected in different ways. Here we have another piece from CoinSpeaker, and they are just answering the question, what is the Interledger Protocol? The Interledger Protocol is a protocol for payments across payment systems. The protocol was introduced by Ripple in October 2015. ILT enables secure transfers between ledgers and allows anyone with accounts on two ledgers to create a connection between them. Down here, we can see the concept of the Interledger Protocol was developed thanks to the investment of several $million from Santander Group, the Spanish banking group, the largest bank in the Eurozone by market value and one of the largest banks in the world in terms of market capitalization, must have believed in Ripple's idea. And here we have the Interledger Foundation. You can see their stated mission. The Interledger Foundation is a nonprofit advocate for the web, promoting innovation, creativity, and inclusion by advancing payment standards and technologies that seamlessly connect our global society. All right, so what is the Interledger Protocol? And at a macro level, we have this document here, and it says, we present a protocol for payments across payment systems. It enables secure transfers between ledgers and allows anyone with accounts on two ledgers to create a connection between them. Ledger-provided escrow removes the need to trust these connectors. Connections can be composed to enable payments between any ledgers, creating a global graph of liquidity or interledger. And to me, this really introduces the concept of layer zero. Yes, within the broader blockchain ecosystem and space, we have all these different layer one ecosystems that provide their own utility and are their own systems. And we have this layer zero, which connects all of those layer one ecosystems. We can also see here that we have Stephen Thomas mentioned from Ripple, and we know that Stephen Thomas is a founder and CEO of a tech company, Coil, and before Coil, he was in San Francisco and worked as the CTO at Ripple. And of course, we know Ripple and XRP and its position in the global landscape regarding blockchain for its position to provide cheap and reliable transactions of value, as well as important utility and cross-border payments for global institutions, banks, etc. The core to the Interledger Protocol, in my understanding, is a technology called Tendermint, which Cosmos is built upon. We can see here, I found this to be a great video from Crypto 49er here, explaining what Tendermint is and how it relates to Cosmos, how it builds Cosmos. And you can see here that he's explaining Cosmos is a decentralized network of independent parallel blockchains, each powered by Tendermint. If we go to Tendermint on their website, we can see building the most powerful tools for distributed networks. We are Tendermint, a core contributor to the Cosmos network. So we have Tendermint Core, the Cosmos SDK, and the IBC protocol. And here with the IBC, core of Tendermint, the leading BFT engine for building blockchains. BFT is Byzantine fault tolerance. Definitely a good concept to integrate as well, basically referring to how much of a system can fail before a catastrophic failure. And on their website, we can see that they have posted here from Kyle Samani. We spend a lot of our time working with early stage entrepreneurs, building all kinds of proof of stake consensus algorithms. And the general recognition among everyone is that Tendermint is the gold standard in the construction of them. So not only coming out of his mouth, but also the way that this makes sense in my mind and the connections that I observe, I see Tendermint and ISO20022 as serving as a backbone for regulatory standards and compliance within blockchain technology. You can see here the IBC protocol, the standard for interchain communication. IBC is a reliable, ordered, and authenticated protocol for relaying arbitrary messages between independent distributed ledgers. So again, pointing to this concept of a layer 0, providing interoperability and communication between different layer 1 distributed ledger networks. And more about the vision of Tendermint. At Tendermint, we empower people to create a transparent and accountable world through open, distributed, and interoperable networks. What they're working on, Tendermint is the gateway to the Cosmos ecosystem. We build critical infrastructure for open networks like the Cosmos SDK, Tendermint Core, and Gaia. So what is Cosmos SDK? Cosmos SDK is an open source framework for building multi-asset public proof of stake blockchains like the Cosmos Hub, as well as permissioned proof of authority blockchains. Why the Cosmos SDK? Cosmos SDK is the most advanced framework for building custom application-specific blockchains today. Here are a few reasons why you might want to consider building your decentralized application with the Cosmos SDK. The default consensus engine available with the SDK is Tendermint Core. Tendermint is the most and only mature Byzantine fault-tolerant consensus engine in existence. It is widely used across the industry and is considered the gold standard consensus engine for building proof of stake systems. And that brings us to Cosmos's website here. You can see the internet of blockchains, again, a reference to this metaphor of layer 0. And we can see here that they're displaying energy efficiency, a fast transaction speed, and a super cheap transaction fee. And obviously compared to something like Ethereum, which is multiple dollars, even hundreds of dollars at times for a transaction, here you've got quick, cheap, and efficient transactions. And so in addition to this, I also wanted to share this piece and maybe weave this in a bit as well. This is from the Interledger Protocol on YouTube, and they're sharing a video about Mojaloop, the Bank of International Settlements, and ISO20022. The standardization for blockchain set forward by the International Standardization Organization. So let's have a listen.
The Mojaloop Foundation is a non-profit open source foundation founded in 2020. We host an open source clearing system for low-value instant payments and develop APIs for interoperability between financial service providers focused on the use cases critical to the world's poor. Today, the last mile is the longest mile for those millions of people in the world who don't have access to traditional banking services. The Mojaloop APIs were developed in collaboration with the world's leading mobile money vendors who serve 1 billion mobile money accounts and reach 96% of the countries where a majority of the population can't access traditional banking services. There is a need to connect traditional market infrastructure that already exists today to last mile account providers in a cost-effective manner.
Our submission.
So we know that big global institutions want to bring more of the unbanked population into this banking sphere. And so Mojaloop and Nonprofit Foundation has partnered up with the Bank of International Settlements, and they're aiming to do just that. Mojaloop was designed to provide a reference model for payment interoperability that can be used to overcome barriers that have slowed the spread of digital finance services. Whole, adapted, or as a blueprint, the Mojaloop Foundation's open source software can be used by organizations to build interoperable digital payments that enable seamless, affordable financial services between individual users, banks, government entities, merchants, mobile network operators, providers, and technology companies, connecting the unserved with the emerging digital economy. And we see some of their partners here. We've got Coil, Google, the Rockefeller Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Definitely an invitation to check these guys out a little bit more. We can also see here too, more on their ISO20022 hackathon submission, the Mojaloop community submission for the Bank of International Settlements ISO20022 cross-border payments hackathon via Interledger Protocol. So we can kind of begin to draw some connections here between the ILP, the BIS, Mojaloop, the IBC, Cosmos, Tendermint, etc. And just to resurface this again, if you're not familiar already with the ISO 20022 ecosystem and the regulatory framework set out by the International Standardization Organization, check out these assets and allow these dots to connect in your mind relating to all of these assets: XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, IOTA, etc. And we can see here sharing the same vision of, including the underbanked population. We are committed to building fair and equitable pathways to financial access, and all of the work we do is connected to benefit each and every human, regardless of identity, geography, or income. Financial exclusion and scarcity have been a tool for oppression, discrimination, and systemic inequality. The Interledger Foundation is committed to building financial systems to include voices that have been traditionally excluded. Our extraordinarily ambitious goal is to decentralize power, privilege, and financial control. This is really important to me too, because so much of the reason why I feel inspired to research this stuff and figure this stuff out is I view the current financial system as having these heavy ass chains on a lot of people, and restricting their freedom and their consciousness in so many ways. And so if we can utilize the technology that's emerging to help saw through some of those chains and grant financial freedom and access to that freedom for us and for everyone, that seems really important to me, and maybe one of the most important areas of focus in terms of gaining our sovereignty as a human race. And another piece of the Cosmos ecosystem that I just want to highlight in this video briefly is the Juno network, built on Cosmos, and they are smart contract evolved. Use and create interoperable applications on Juno, a decentralized public permissionless network for cross-chain smart contracts. In my opinion, the introduction of interoperable smart contracts being built on Juno here is the first one that I observed, and is a really important piece and layer being built into the broader blockchain space. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for me here in this video. I hope you took something away from this, and I'll also just close with that. I feel that aside from any of this information, maybe the most important thing that we can have in this space, and in order to be successful with blockchain and custodying digital assets, is the inspiration to learn, because that is, once we become informed, that's when we make our own empowered decisions. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Love all you guys so much, and wishing you all a beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Let me know. This feels to me like an open source, a community driven research effort. So let's figure this all out together.